This constitutes a security hazard.
Time for some Terrahawks toys, and oh boy, have I got a special one right here. This is the Bandai die-cast Battlehawk. Probably the most sought after of all the Terrahawks toy lines. The prices for these on eBay are absolutely ridiculous. Do not pay those overinflated thousands of pounds that some people list these for. Pretty sure that's some kind of money laundering scheme that's going on there. It's certainly not legit. Do not pay those prices whatsoever. So when I did on eBay see a Battlehawk listed for a reasonable price, and when I say reasonable, I mean like not something I would take a mortgage out for, I had to pick it up. The condition of this one is not pristine. First thing you're going to notice is when I pick this up, it leaves a little bit behind. One of the wheel tracks is sadly missing a piece, so it doesn't clip on there. I only have like the one that sits there, but when it's just sitting out on display, you wouldn't even notice. I just display it facing the other way, but it's worth mentioning that that track is sadly absent, so I'm just going to leave that down there. I mean, what can I say? This toy is fantastic. It is so good. Battlehawk itself, I've always liked it as a vehicle. I think it's a great, unique design. I know Steve Begg, who designed it himself, kind of describes it as a flying brick. I like that. I think that's okay. I have no bad words to say about it, and I think it makes for a terrific toy. And I think Bandai did a great job bringing it to life. So this thing is absolutely packed with play features. But first of all, I just want to talk about the design, the build of it, everything. It is a chunky boy. It is basically got a metal body with the extra details added in plastic. So things like these fins at the front and all the tail fins at the back. The little Terrahawk on the top of the body is plastic. The wheels under here are plastic. Now, this thing is obviously over 40 years old. It is showing its age, hence why, part of it has come off. But otherwise fairly robust. I can see why if you treated this too roughly, it might start to kind of come apart and you might start to have some problems with it. But for the most part, very solid and looking really nice indeed. Across the whole thing, it is decorated with some Terrahawks little logo stickers that are just those are just stickers that are stuck on there, which look pretty good. There's also some detail that's been printed on here, just little lines and panel lines and things like that, just to kind of try and make it look a little bit less toy-like. It still very much looks like a toy. I don't think there's any denying that. It's certainly not a display model, but I will say because of its size, it does kind of look quite good on display as well. But the thing that really kind of sells this is all of the play features that are in it. So I'm going to try and demonstrate those one by one. The first thing here is the Terrahawk itself, which is slotted into the top. Basically, there is a slot there, and it has little feet that when you and there is a little mechanism with a little black spring-loaded switch there. When you slide the Terrahawk into place and then press the button, stand by for this because I really don't know what's going to happen next. When you fire that off it goes. And where did that land? All the way over there. I think that's great. Just being able to fire a little Terrahawk off into the distance, I think is fantastic. The fact it's just spring-loaded, it's a really basic, simple mechanism, but it is robust. I will say that for it. Now, actually getting it back in place can be a little bit fiddly, and as I say, I don't want to break anything. There we go. It takes a little bit of force to try and get it back in, but once it's in there, I'm going to try again. Here we go. Here goes Terrahawk. Whee! There we go. I caught it that time. But isn't that lovely? I just think that's a really fun little idea to have. Very silly indeed. So that's one thing. I think the little Terrahawk itself is also really, really nice. Just enough detail to do the job. Fortunately, they did also do other toys in the range that better represented Terrahawk kind of on its own. But yeah, very, very nice that was included. I'm also going to take a look at the front, because at the front here, if we lift open the front lid, and then we can pull out a little tongue. It's like a little black plastic tongue that just sits out the front. That is supposed to represent, you see it particularly in the first, in Expect the Unexpected. I think it might be part 2. You see Hudson driving down the ramp to get out of Battlehawk. This is a representation of that ramp. You know, they don't give you a tiny little Hudson or anything like that to go in there, but it is a nice little feature just to have that little ramp just sit in the front, slide out. Simple as that. You know, very straightforward, nothing special, but just a cool kind of extra feature to have there. Then let's see, round the back we have the back entrance, which is operated by one of these very well concealed little switches there. Actually, that just pops open like that. It's just slightly spring loaded so that it pops open. You operate the switch, and there it is. Just, you know, very, very straightforward, very good. There is plenty of room. Oop, I've got my Terrahawk has fallen off. My Terrahawk has fallen off. But there is plenty of space in there if you wanted to store little, I would put like a little Micro Machines tank or something inside there. Something like that would go in the back of this thing really nicely. Just loads up in there. Very, very nice, very straightforward. And yeah, as I say, very satisfying little mechanism that just pops that open. I think that's fantastic. But the main feature, if we're going to get into this, the main, what I think is probably the most impressive thing about this is if I get it into position, get it ready, then I can't actually remember which button it is that does it, but one of the buttons on the side, I think it's this one. Okay, standing by, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Just drops a battle tank out there. This is a little die-cast metal battle tank built to withstand being dropped from a great height. Obviously, same as in the actual show itself. Really built to take a thud there. Possibly, I think that's supposed to have a sticker on the front. I'm not quite sure. It looks like something, maybe there was a label on that at some point, but has come off over time. But you can see the Megazoids are sculpted into the top of this thing. It looks like the battle tank. It is very, very hefty and just looks like it'll do some damage, despite being quite small. But yeah, the way that I am going to take Terrahawk off the top, just so I can show this clearly. Yeah, it's got a really nice sort of, again, spring-loaded mechanism for containing this inside the top there. So let me try and do that again. Let me reload it. And there's actually a fun reloading method as well that I will need to show you after this, but I haven't quite done that right. There we go. Shut the front door. Shut the front. I'm doing it wrong. Come on. There we go. Push that all in together. Come on. There we go. That's it. Come on. Oh, that's it. That's got it in there. So that is really secure in there. That's not coming out now that I've put it in there. It's just sitting in there quite happily, just underneath there. And then when I press the button, fires it out. My goodness me, that went miles. Right. There we go. I mean, that's great. But the thing that's really fun about this is people always wonder in the TV series, how is the battle tank retrieved once it's landed in the danger zone and Battlehawk goes flying off? How is it retrieved? Well, nestled very deep inside that cargo bay, if I can pull it out, you have to have quite dainty fingers to do this, is a pair of little, very little plastic hooks that dangle down underneath. You can see just there. And then the idea is that this part of the battle tank, you open it up so that that frame thing is upright, and then you come along with your Battlehawk, and you scoop it up and pick it up and airlift it out of the area. Isn't that just fantastic? That is just so fun. It just does that, and then obviously you have to try quite hard to carefully. Yeah, it's not going to work. Try and carefully get it back in, so that it all shuts up in a satisfying way. I've done it wrong again. There's this sort of front flap here that's supposed to hold the front in, and I have not mastered how to get that folded away first before the rest of it. There we go. That's it. That's good. That's great. Let's load Terrahawk back up again. Now, as I say, the one thing that I have, lost over the years is part of the caterpillar track. That's how I bought it. It was secondhand. That's just how I got it. And it is a shame. It does have little wheels, sort of little rollers that are sort of sit underneath those fake, because they're fake caterpillar tracks, basically. They're all just molded in one, but then they have little rollers underneath. So I can imagine that when you have all of the wheels in the right place, then it probably rolls along in quite a satisfying way. But unfortunately, one of my legs is it's uneven because of that. But as I say, it's not too bad. It doesn't make much difference to me whether it's got those wheels or not, because for the most part, it's sitting on display. But yeah, I mean, it's just great. They just packed so much into a relatively small, relatively simple package. I am dropping everything today, but there you go. There's your little Terrahawk as well there. I just think it's all packed together. It's such a good toy. It's so fun. It's lacking in detail. As I say, it's not a replica model of the original by any means, but it is a good toy. Very good fun indeed. As I say, I do not recommend paying the ridiculously overinflated eBay prices that you see for this thing. I think that is just excessive, but if, like me, you can find one that's used, maybe needs a little bit of TLC, has a piece missing, or maybe the stickers aren't on quite so well, or some of the detailing is missing, I would consider paying a lower price just to have an example of this, because I think so many of the other play features are so good that it doesn't matter if it's a little bit, dare I say, battle scarred as a result of that. So yeah, if you can get a good deal on this, it's well worth it. But please do not subscribe to paying thousands of pounds for one of these. That is just absurd. Doesn't make any sense. Just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But there we go. That was Battlehawk. If you would like me to take a look at more Terrahawks toys, please let me know, because I do have a few more from the range. I think they're very, very good indeed, just as good as this. So if you'd like to see that, do let me know in the comments down below. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I make Security Hazard minis every single week looking at different pieces of Jerry Anderson merchandise. We also have the Security Hazard Show, which is a podcast, which we broadcast live every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. UK time. That's me and my co-host Ben Wolf-Page. You can also head to securityhazard.net, where you can currently read weekly reviews of Space Precinct, every single episode going into extraordinary detail on those. And if that's still not enough, head over to patreon.com/securityhazard, where you can pledge every single month and get exclusive videos and posts that you won't see anywhere else. Otherwise, all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Hopefully watching some Terrahawks. Terrahawks. Terrahawks deserve so much more love than it gets, I have to say that. So go and watch some Terrahawks, if nothing else. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thank you, and see you next time.
Security hazard negative.